Hey there, Nicole Young here, and I'd like to show you a sneak preview of my Lightroom Collage Templates pack. These work in Lightroom Classic and they allow you to create a collage very, very quickly. Let's go ahead and jump to it. So I'm here inside of Lightroom Classic. I'm in the library module, and I have a collection active here with some of my water drop photographs. You can work either out of a folder or a collection. I tend to prefer using collections, and it just kind of makes sense because I'm not usually going to be pulling images for a collage from the same folder. This is a great example. All of these are from different photo shoots. So I took each of these photos and I put them in a water drops collection, and it's just a little bit easier for me to access all of the images that I want to work with. So I have this collection active. I'm going to go over to that print module on the very top right. When working inside of the print module, you'll want to make sure that you have that film strip active at the bottom. So I'm going to go down to the very bottom and click that to make sure I can see it all the time. You can also resize this film strip. So if you kind of hover over where the icon changes there to that kind of up and down arrow, and then you click, you can either drag it up to make those photos bigger, or you can go all the way down and make them really, really, really tiny. So I'll just find a middle ground there so I can really see the photos that I want to add into my collage. First, I'm just going to walk through really quickly how you can actually import templates into this print module. The easiest way to do it is to go up to your Lightroom preferences. Then make sure you have that presets tab open, and then click Show All Other Lightroom Presets. This will open up the Adobe folder on your computer. You just want to go ahead and open that Lightroom folder and then find the Print Templates folder, double-click to open that, and then this is where you will drag and drop those folders of LR template files. So if I were to open up one of these, you're going to see that these are LR templates. Let me go ahead and jump into list view here. So they're LR template files. Don't let this confuse you. These are the correct type of files that actually go inside of the print module. If you want to add develop presets into the newest version of Lightroom Classic, you'll use a different method and they are no longer going to be LR template files. So don't worry when you see that file type. That's exactly how it's supposed to look. It's also a great idea to organize your templates into subfolders because they will actually show up as subfolders inside of Lightroom. So let's go ahead and jump back over and take a look at these templates inside of Lightroom. So on the left here in the template browser is where you're actually going to access these templates. And you can see I have all of those subfolders and they're exactly like they looked inside of that folder, just nice and neatly organized. Simply click on one of those arrows to see what they look like. And as you hover over them, you'll actually get a nice preview of what that collage is going to look like. So you simply just click on one of these templates to kind of start working on it. There are 10 different folders of templates that you can work with, consisting of 5 different aspect ratios or sizes, plus some social media headers. Overall, you have 330 templates that you can work with when you get this pack. I'm going to go ahead and open up the 16:9 horizontal and choose one of these and then click on it so we can actually start creating a collage here inside of Lightroom. To add photos to your template, you simply just go to an image that you want to work on, click, and drag it over the box. And now each of these boxes that you see inside of the template are called cells. So I'll be referring to them as cells going forward. And to get the other images up there, just drag and drop. And you just kind of keep going until you're done. So there, in just a matter of seconds, I now have a really nice looking collage. Of course, you can make adjustments to this and customize it how you would like. The first customization you may want to do is you might want to kind of reposition an image within the cell. To do that, you just want to press and hold that Command or Control key, click over the image that you want to reposition, and then drag it. So this one is only going to let me drag it up and down, and that's just because of the kind of size or that aspect ratio of that cell. Up here on the top right, I can try to drag some of these other ones, and this one's going to let me drag it from right to left, but I probably just want to keep that as centered as possible. And you can just kind of go through and drag the other ones around as you'd like. Now, if you find that you actually need to kind of zoom in on an image within a cell, You can't do that in the print module. Instead, you'll have to take that particular image into the develop module and then use that crop tool to kind of make it look like it's zoomed in a little bit. Now, by default, all of these templates come with this white border that you see here. But you can change the size and the color, or you can remove the border altogether. If you would like to kind of play around with the border, you want to go over to the right into the image settings panel. Inner stroke is what is used to actually add that border to these templates. If you want to remove it, simply uncheck it. I'll add it back there. You can also change the width, so you can maybe reduce it really low so it's just a skinny little border, or you can make it a lot fatter. You can also play around with the color of the border as well. If you click this little swatch icon here, there are some kind of gray colors at the top right there. But if you'd like it to be colorized, then once you've clicked one of those gray options, you can actually see that there's kind of a saturation slider here. So just kind of move that saturation slider wherever you want. And then click within that color swatch area to find a color that you like. Another thing you can play around with is the background color. Right now, there is no background showing here because it's filled with cells. But you can delete a cell if you wanted to maybe have a space that you could add text or place your own logo in. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to click this bottom middle image here, and I'm simply just going to press that delete key on my keyboard to delete that cell. Now you can see that the background color here is white. Let's go ahead and check out where that background color is located. If I go over to that page panel, I have an option here for page background color, and it's set to white by default. If you click this, you get that same color pop-up that you got with the image settings. I'd like to use the same color that I have on the border, so I'm going to go back to that border color and copy it over to the page background color. So I'll access the image settings panel. I'm going to click on that color swatch, and right here there is a hex code that you can actually click on and copy. If you don't see that hex option, you might have it look like this where it's showing all of the RGB values. Simply just click hex and it will pop up that code area. So just highlight the code. I'm going to copy it using a keyboard shortcut, Command or Control C. I'm going to go back down to that page panel, click the swatch, go into the hex code, and paste that new hex code. And I just press Tab there, and that just kind of sets that color for me. Another thing you can do is actually move those cells around within the collage. So maybe you have a template that you like, but it's just not working for your photos, or you kind of wanted it to be just slightly different. It's really, really easy to actually customize how these look. First, I'm going to go up to the rulers, grids, and guides just to have this open for reference because I'm going to show you something that you may want to change. So right now, grid snap is set to cells. You'll probably want it set to cells if you're doing what I'm going to do here. But if you click on it, you have a few different things you can kind of work with. So let me show you what grid snap does. I'm going to click on this far left image here, and I'm just going to kind of drag it to the left. And now I'm going to click on this far right image and just move it over. And as I get really close to that other image, it just kind of snaps over to it. Same thing happens here as I drag the right side in. So now I was able to kind of snap it to both of these images. Next, I'll take this photo and I'm just going to drag it all the way down, and that'll end at the very bottom there. So now I have a slightly different template from what I started with. If you want to save a new template that you've kind of created from an existing template, go over to your template browser and click that plus icon, and then you just give this a template name and either choose a folder. You can also create a new folder if you go to the very top there, and then you can kind of create your own customized templates inside of Lightroom. So I hope this was a helpful kind of sneak peek at how the Nicolesy Lightroom Collage templates work. This pack comes with 330 collage print templates. It also has video training that shows you some of the things I showed you here, how to export larger sizes from Lightroom and also how to resize them in Photoshop. I show you how to save your work, your in-progress collages, and a few other things. You can head over to the Nicolesy Store to learn more. The link is in the description here on this video as well. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask me. I'm here to help you out. Have a great day.